You didn't earn the knowledge for yourselves, so you don't take any responsibility for it.
Hello, hello. So we are going to be looking at the Fatpack for Lost Caverns of Ixalan. I am very excited about this one. The last one was pretty disappointing, so I think it's time for them to make up for it. And this just might do the trick, I think. Again, we are looking at here the prices in Korean won. Actually, I should change this into English. There you go. That probably makes a lot more sense to people. And there we go. Here we got the Jurassic World collection. And actually I want to look at just the regular one first. So, on MTG Goldfish, we can at least see the values in American dollars. Kevin of Souls out front at $29.59 US. This is an older card. It's been reprinted a few times recently, so I'm surprised it's that much. And Ojar Tog, I believe. Tog is how I'm pronouncing T-A-G. Or is it Talk? Like T-A-Q? Okay, Talk. Sorry, Talk. Deepest Foundation. This card has gotten a lot of buzz on the internet, and I definitely see why. If you make a creature token, you make 3 instead, so it is quite a big one. And if it dies, it transforms into a land, which you could transform back into it again. So basically, if your opponents want to deal with this as a commander, they have to exile it. Otherwise, you can just keep bouncing it back. Like, it as a land is pretty underwhelming, but anyway. We also have Galta, Stampede Tyrant, and yeah, put any number of cards from your hand onto the battlefield. That's very abusable. Really just get lots of card draw, get something that lets you have, no limit to how many cards you have in your hand, and then drop that and just overrun the board. That's very easily kind of like a pseudo win con. That's what I'd call that. Chi Mill. I have to practice saying these before, I think. Chi Mill, the Inner Sun. Can't be countered, and beginning of your end step, you get to discover 5. Again, that's you basically look at cards from the top of your reveal cards from the top of your deck until you reveal something with 5 mana or less, and then you can count it, or you can cast it for free, or you can just put it into your hand. Either way, very, very useful. Something, especially a lot of these, I would just combine with some kind of scry effect, and then boom, you've got like a very scary combination. And Bone Horde Dinosaur. So at the beginning of your upkeep, you get to exile 2 cards. So this is basically like drawing 2 extra cards. I mean, you exile them, so if you don't use them, they're gone. That's the downside, but still, if you have access to, really, you draw 1 and then exile 2, and that's 3 every turn. And if you exile a land, you get to make a dinosaur token, a 3/1 red dinosaur token. And if you exile a non-land, just any non-land, create a treasure token. So this makes a whole bunch of mana and gives you a way to use that mana and tokens, which are always nice to have as well. So that's quite good. It's at just over $16 right now. I think that is actually pretty reasonable. one thing I would say about this set is usually I look at sets that have come out recently. The official release date for this was yesterday. Usually the new ones I look at and I go, oh, that card is way overpriced, that card's way overpriced, da 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 da. And then, yeah, of course after a week or so, they just crash in value. I don't think a lot of these are going to do that. If an opponent would lose life during your turn, they'd lose twice as much life instead. Okay, there's another, like, not exactly a win con, but it gets it does half the work for you. So, Roaming Throne. This one I think is interesting. So when it comes in, you choose a creature type. It counts as one of those creatures, and any triggered abilities they have go off an extra time. So this is great for anything with like ETBs or death triggers. You can set them off twice. I have an ally tribal deck. I would definitely put this in my ally tribal. I think that would be very, very good. And anyway, I think I'm going to try to keep this one a bit shorter. Oh good, I can't see how long my recording is anymore. They updated my program, so of course it's worse, which seems to be the way, isn't it though? Here's one that I know is interesting to a lot of people. Ancient One. For 1 blue, 1 black, you get an 8/8, which seems really kind of broken compared to everything beforehand, but you need 8 or more permanent cards in your graveyard, so that's not very difficult to do, but it is an extra requirement, so I think it kind of balances out. Excuse me. Draw a card, then discard a card. When you discard a card this way, target player mills cards equal to its mana value. Okay, so I mean, I don't see that being super useful. I mean, Dimir is a good blue-black is what I mean by Dimir is a good mill kind of win con color combination, so maybe you could use that, but it would not be, you're not going to win on just that kind of thing. So yeah. And some of the other ones that stood out to me, Millennium Calendar. A lot of people are excited about this Millennium Calendar. I'm underwhelmed. I think in like a proliferate deck, you could maybe get enough counters on it. Whenever you untap 1 or more permanents during your untap step, put that many time counters on Millennium Calendar. And then for 2 colorless mana and tap it, you can double the number of counters on the Millennium Calendar. And when there are 1,000 or more, your opponents each lose 1,000 life. Okay, so you win the game probably there. I mean, if your opponent has more than 1,000 life, just quit, is what I would say. But yeah, a lot of people are very buzzed about this. The amount of just time and kind of like energy you would have to put into just triggering that would, I mean, it would win the game, but it would just be a hassle as well. Like, you need something that lets you untap artifacts and probably proliferate a bunch. So yeah, you can trigger that doubling the counters thing more than once per turn and hope that no one destroys the artifact in the time it takes you to get that off. I'm sure there's a way to do it in like 1 turn, but it's just, I don't know. Yeah. If you did get it off in 1 turn, I think everyone at the table would be like, wow, that's really cheap. And if it took like 5 turns, well, then you might as well just play a normal deck. because like you'd pretty much need a deck that's like built around this card to get off, I think. So I'm not really as excited as the internet is about this one. $4.17 American. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that. This card, I really love this card though. $3.53. Destroy target creature or planeswalker is your first option. Second option, destroy target non-creature, non-land permanent with mana value 1 or less. So, artifacts that have like 1 or less value, you can just destroy them. That can make a pretty big difference. I really like just having options. I think this is a great card just because it does give you options. And the more options you have, the better chance that it's what you need at the correct time. So that's why I like that one. Oh, and this one for a Naya deck. Naya, again, is red, green, white. Is called Naya. But anyway, whenever it enters the battlefield, you can search for a land card and put it into your hand. So mana fixing, that's always nice to have, first of all. And then for 3 and red or white, 2 reds or 2 whites, or any combination, you can exile it and turn it into a saga. And the saga is actually pretty good too. So the second step lets you use your creatures to make all kinds of different mana, and so it gives you kind of like a springboard there. And then you can search for a dinosaur, and then all your dinosaurs get double strike and trample until end of turn. So that's really kind of just like a double strike trample. You can just chuck them at them, and hopefully that's your win con right there. A little risky maybe, but I really like the card in general. And this is all down now to $3.09. And there's another Veto. Veto, a famous vampire, and it's all about rewarding you for sacrificing. There's a lot of kind of graveyard interactions and sacrificing interactions. So anyway, I'm gonna just talk about this last one, I think. And Saheeli, Sons of Brilliance. Again, I do like Saheeli in general. I have a Saheeli Planeswalker commander deck. And create a token that's a copy of another creature token, except that it's an artifact. Exile at the end of turn. What you want to do is use something like Chronomancer that lets you tap it and just end the turn before the end step. And that way you never have to exile anything. So I think she works really well with like Inala. Inala's ability works kind of the same way for wizards. Her Eminence ability. So yeah, you can really get a lot of value out of that. Hey, alright. Well, I almost forgot to do the Jurrasic Worlds part. Okay, for me, and I think for a lot of people, the exciting part of this set is even just this card right here. Ian Malcolm, Chaotician. Anyway. Jeff Goldblum card. Oh boy. Jeff Goldblum card, and even just the Jurrasic Park sets in general. Currently, US or Korean won value is 250,000, which is not nearly as impressive US dollars. So let's take a look. Korean won to US dollars. 192. Still very, very good. So that is way up. Even I checked this a few days ago, and I think it was 140. So it's worth like 80% more, something like that. Anyway, I would be very pumped. I'm very much hoping to get Jeff Goldblum 1 or Ian Malcolm 1, whatever you want to call it. It's Jeff Goldblum. Who am I kidding? But yeah. And yeah, getting any of these would be pretty cool, but I think everyone is mostly in it for the Jeff Goldblum one. So yeah, even here's the regular one. That is only 8,000. That's down actually. So hey, if I don't pull it, I might just buy one of these that are cheaper. Samuel Jackson. Hey, Samuel Jackson's on the card now too, and what is the guy's name again? I know, Wayne. I can't remember. He's Newman on Seinfeld, I know, but his name is actually something Wayne, I think. But anyway, I'm spacing on that, of course. I am terrible with names in general. But yeah, so I'm really in it for the Ian Malcolm card. I'm not gonna lie. So hopefully, fingers crossed on that one.